Rangers! Philippe Clement is a dead man walking. The players have no fight, the fans have lost faith, and the board is finally ready to act. An interim manager is being lined up, the 49ers takeover is gathering pace, and Chris Boyd has ripped into Clement like never before. But is this the start of a real rebuild or just more chaos at Ibrox? Stay locked in, things are about to explode. Philippe Clement finds himself in the firing line once again, but rather than taking full responsibility for Rangers' dismal display against St. Mirren, the boss has pointed fingers at his players. A performance as flat as a Glasgow tenement roof, a team that looked bereft of ideas, and a manager seemingly perplexed by what he was witnessing. This is not the Rangers standard. For 90 agonizing minutes, you watched Rangers get outfought in the worst possible way without so much as a fight in return. St. Mirren's game plan wasn't rocket science, yet Rangers had no answers, no intensity, no drive, and worst of all, no sign of a response from the touchline. Philippe Clement's excuse? Nerves. Nervous is how he described the team. Nervous on the ball, nervous in duels, nervous in a match where Rangers should have set the tempo, dictated play, and imposed themselves. I don't know where it's coming from, he said. That's the concern. If the manager doesn't know, then who does? Clement spoke about a good training week, a solid plan, but when it came to the crunch, nothing materialized. At 1-0 down, the chance finally arrived. Václav Cerny with the goal gaping, but he fluffed it. And what did Clement do to change the game? Nothing. Side-to-side passing, inverted fullbacks, wingers drifting into packed areas, endless hopeful crosses into a box filled with giants. It was tactical stubbornness at its worst. If Clement refuses to change his approach, why should you expect results to change? And if results don't change, then it's only a matter of time before he's shown the door. Has Philippe Clement already lost the dressing room, or is this group of players simply not up to Rangers' standards? Philippe Clement's time at Ibrox looks to be up, and while some argue his sacking is pointless, the reality is Rangers cannot continue down this road. Another disastrous defeat, this time to St. Mirren, has surely sealed his fate. When you add the embarrassment against Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup, it is no longer a question of if, but when he will be shown the door. Patrick Stewart has backed Clement for as long as possible, but results have only declined. The talk of nerves, bad luck, and fighting until the end is wearing thin. There is no fight on the pitch, no belief, no identity, and worst of all, no progress. Now, the discussion turns to the inevitable interim manager, a move that feels like more of a bandage than a solution. With American investors circling, the club looks set for yet another period of uncertainty. The Europa League remains the only realistic chance of silverware, but with the squad looking devoid of confidence, does anyone truly believe Rangers can go far in Europe under this leadership? Alex Ray's name will no doubt be mentioned, but is another short-term fix really what Rangers need? If an interim appointment is made, the summer becomes crucial. There can be no mistakes in the next managerial decision. Has Rangers board already failed by waiting this long, or should Clement have been sacked months ago? The winds of change are sweeping through Ibrox, with the potential takeover by the San Francisco 49ers gaining serious momentum. Dave King has now put his shares on the table, ready to pass the baton to a new era, and it looks like John Bennett is about to do the same. With millions already pumped into the club, Bennett stepping aside signals a major shift in Rangers' financial landscape. The American consortium, spearheaded by Parag Marathi and Andrew Kavanagh, aims to secure a controlling stake of at least 51%, marking a significant power shift. But the question is, will this be the fresh start Rangers need, or just another chapter of uncertainty? King's comments make one thing clear: this isn't just about money, It's about finding the right people to take Rangers forward, something that has been missing for years. He claims he has kissed many frogs before identifying a suitable investor, but until the ink dries on the deal, it remains speculation. The reality is, Rangers need stability. The constant boardroom changes, managerial upheavals, and financial concerns have held the club back for too long. The 49ers group brings experience from the world of elite sport, but is that enough to navigate the unique challenges of Scottish football? If this takeover goes through, will the new American owners truly understand what it means to run Rangers? Or is this just another risky experiment that could backfire? Chris Boyd has let loose in a takedown of Philippe Clement that will go down as one of the most brutal assessments of a Rangers manager in recent history. The former Rangers striker has seen enough, and he's not alone. Clement, according to Boyd, isn't just underperforming, he's actively sucking the life out of the club, draining the energy from the players, the staff, and most damningly, you. There's no fight, no identity, no reaction. Saturday's 2-0 home humiliation against St. Mirren wasn't just another bad result, it was the moment it became undeniable that Rangers are in total freefall. Clement himself admitted it was the worst performance of his tenure, but the bigger issue is this: why are things getting worse, not better? The Belgian was brought in to steady the ship, to bring direction, to lift Rangers back to the standards you demand. Instead, this is a team going through the motions, a dressing room Boyd describes as flat, dead, done. And when a squad reaches that stage, there is no coming back. The excuses from Clement have long since worn thin. He spoke about needing time on the grass, needing weeks without midweek fixtures to properly drill his ideas into the squad. He's had that now. And yet, after 2 full weeks of preparation, Rangers' performances have somehow dipped even further. The so-called structure of play is non-existent. The players don't look like they know what they're meant to be doing, and worse, they look like they don't believe in the system at all. Meanwhile, the takeover talk is ramping up, and Boyd suggests the Americans have been taking notes for some time. The 49ers Enterprises Group, backed by health insurance tycoon Andrew Kavanagh and the Leeds United chairman Parag Marathi, have been assessing Ibrox from the inside, carefully evaluating what needs to be done. Their arrival could mark the start of a new era, but that won't mean anything if Rangers don't get the most important decision right. Who is leading this team into that future? Boyd doesn't just think Clement should go, he thinks it has to happen now. There's no waiting for the end of the season, no hoping things somehow turn around. You can't go into the Europa League campaign with a manager who is defeated and a team that looks devoid of any confidence. The longer this drags on, the worse the damage becomes. Rangers need to act decisively. Find an interim, put someone in charge ahead to end this disaster before it drags the club into an even bigger hole. The big question is this: was Philippe Clement ever the right man for Rangers in the first place? Or has the club been sleepwalking into disaster since the day he was appointed? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.